Hey guys, I'm back. It has been forever since I've done a video, or at least it feels like it's been forever since I've done a video. Or at least a crafty one. Ooh, I hope this doesn't scratch my desk. But, I'm gonna be quite honest, I haven't been crafting. I kind of have, not to get too personal or anything, but I have a lot of things just kind of going on in my life right now, and quite honestly just taken a toll to where I am just like mentally and physically exhausted. But hubby and I went out today and we happened to find this really cute little piece and decided we are going to decorate it for the kids because they're all in school. It's a year-round school, and they started on the 20th, I think it was. It was like beyond early, way earlier than we had expected, but anyways, we are having issues right now with trying to keep the kids' backpacks organized and easy to find first thing in the morning when everyone's, half asleep and getting ready to go to school. So we found this at a Goodwill for I think it was like $6 or $7. And I decided I want to try my hand at chalk paint. I don't know how well it's going to work out, but we'll find out together. So I hope everyone's doing well, and I've missed you guys a lot, and it's like I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day. It's really funny because I was watching Crafty Erica's video, and she talks about, being a recluse and just kind of, keeping to herself and not really hey, let's go out and go shopping every day type of person. I am totally the same way. If I don't have to get out of my house, I don't want to. I probably should, but I just don't feel like it. I don't want to. I am safe in my home, and I want to stay that way, and I am good with my comfort zone, and this piece is it's pretty massive, so I'm sorry that you guys aren't going to be able to see the whole thing in one shot. And if I could for the life of me figure out how to insert a photo or anything tech savvy, that would make this way easier, but we've met, and we all know that computers and I don't get along very well, and I'm lucky that I can put up a video. So, without, having my whole computer crash and burn. But anywho, I could totally relate, because I am the same way. I'm a recluse, and it doesn't help when, you have depression and things like that, and I know we've talked about that in the past. We all know that I have it. It's a battle that I fight every day. But again, with the personal things that are going on in my life right now, I think it all just kind of hit me at once, and I just kind of had a minute breakdown where I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to call anybody and burden anyone with my problems. I didn't want to bother anybody. I didn't want to... anybody who has depression, I think you guys kind of can understand where I'm coming from when you feel like you can't talk to anybody. Not because nobody will understand, but because you can't tell anyone what's wrong. If that makes sense. And so that's kind of where I've been the last couple of weeks. I've just been kind of in a quiet, in my own little world, and I can't lie to you guys, I've been doing my own little, oh woe is me pity party. And I'm trying to get out of that funk. I'm trying to get out of that horrible place, because sitting alone by yourself in a closet is not really fun for anybody, and that's kind of, where I found myself these last couple of days. It doesn't help that Scarlett was extremely sick on Saturday and scared the bejesus out of me. Saturday morning, she was kind of just, she seemed like she was dreaming. I thought she was just having a bad dream. So I was rubbing her back, and I was talking to her, letting her know she was safe, and that it was okay, that I was here. And I mean, like, 6 o'clock in the morning. So, and we all remember Scarlett. She's, you know, my late owl. She never sleeps. So, oh, I didn't grab my paints for this. That was not very smart of me. Hold on just a second. It wouldn't be an Amy video if I remembered everything I needed, right? Right. Okay. Let's grab that one. Oops. I'm sorry if my light's shifting. I don't mean it. Okay. Oh, goodness. Just kidding. So, she was kind of having a rough night, or a rough morning, I should say. And, so I just, you know, rubbed her back and was talking to her, letting her know she was okay, and everything was good. And she, you know, snuggled up to me and went back to sleep. She was having a hard time sleeping, so she ended up sleeping with me that Friday night into Saturday morning. And come about 6:30-ish, she starts complaining that her tummy hurts. So, and of course, and I'm sorry if this grosses anyone out, but if you're a mom, you completely understand. I had to, you know, ask her when was the last time she used the bathroom. Did it feel like she needed to go to the bathroom, or if she needed to, you know, go throw up? What was, you know, I needed to know how her tummy hurt. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just playing. What I'm basically trying to do, I guess I should tell you guys, huh? Is I'm playing with chalk paint, and this is the Martha Stewart, not that you guys can see that, wedding cake. And I want to put it in the areas that I think I might distress. Because my main color, oh, that's not fun. I have bristles falling out. My main color is going to be the Crimson, Waverly Inspirations Chalk Crimson, which is what I used for yeah, wow, what are those called? The top hats. There we go. So, anyways, so I noticed Scarlett felt a little warm, and here it is about 6:30, 6:45 in the morning. Felt a little warm. We took her temperature. It was 100.4. Thought, okay, she's not feeling good. She probably has a stomach bug or whatever. You know, Jonah had just stayed home from school. I'm sorry, you guys totally can't even see what I'm doing. Oh. Let's see. Oh my goodness, that's nails on a chalkboard. Okay, let's try it this way. So, you know, Jonah had stayed home on Tuesday or Wednesday because he wasn't feeling so good. You know, his was due to allergies and all that fun stuff. But something didn't seem right with Scarlett. Because Scarlett's never really been sick. She's had allergies, and she's had the sniffles, and, you know, things that go away in 24 hours or whatever, but never anything major. And, so her and I are laying there, and we fall back asleep. And I don't know if I was just moving around in my sleep or what, or if she had made a sound and I thought, okay, I need to check her. But I put my arm over her head, and she felt, I felt like I stuck my arm on an oven. And I thought, okay, it's time to go. I didn't even check her temperature. I mean, it was only 9:45, I think. And I just picked her up. I didn't even put shoes on her. Just picked her up and told my mom and her friend, I'm taking her to the quick care up the street. So I go to the quick care, I sign her in, and she is like, she's delirious. This poor child. She was crying one minute because, you know, she thought she was missing school, and then she started crying because she thought I was leaving her for some reason, and then it turned into she thought she wasn't listening to her teacher, and I mean, the poor kid was just delirious. And so, you know, I'm coddling her, and I'm hugging on her, and I'm loving her, and telling her everything's going to be fine, everything's okay, I've got you, I'm right here, and she pretty much sleeps the entire time we're sitting in this waiting room. And we waited about an hour, maybe hour and a half, close to an hour and a half, and they finally call us, and I take her under the back, and they check her temperature, and it's 106. And the nurse looks at me and goes, you might need to go to the emergency room. And I just about hit the floor. Because had I known my child was that hot, I would not have waited that long in a flipping waiting room. I would have made a fuss until somebody saw us immediately, or I would have just left and gone to the emergency room. I didn't realize that her temperature was that hot, or that high. So the nurse is freaking out and is like, okay, I think you need to take her to the emergency room. I don't want, you know, her to have a stroke or her to cause brain damage and things like this. And I'm going, okay, I understand that you're trying to help me, but right now, as a mother, I don't need to hear all this. I need to know what I need to do to get my daughter help. So she's talking to the doctor, and the doctor's like, we can't let her leave. We legally cannot let her leave because if anything happens to that child, we are responsible for her. We need to get her undressed. We need to put ice packs on her. When was the last time you gave her Motrin? I said we gave it to her, you know, at 6:40 in the morning. Now it's sitting 11:30, almost noon. She's like, all right, we're just going to double dose her. They gave her the Tylenol Motrin cocktail or whatever it's called. Gave her that. And they put an ice pack on her back, under her neck, under each armpit, and then one on her stomach. She still had her clothes on at this point. And this poor child is shivering. And I'm thinking, okay, she's shivering because the fever's breaking and everything's going to be good and they're going to tell me what's wrong with my kid. They come back 5 minutes later and her temperature has only dropped from 106.7 to 105.8 or 9, somewhere in there. And I am having a conniption fit. I am like ready to have a nervous breakdown. I am ready to just curl up in a ball and cry because it's all my fault and I should have known better than to let her sit in that waiting room longer than, you know, I'm just a nervous wreck. I don't know what to do. I can't think straight. So the nurse is like, okay, let's get her to eat some popsicles. Let's try to, if she can, I need her to pee in a cup because, you know, she was complaining that her tummy hurt. Maybe she's got a UTI. Maybe she's got a bladder infection. So I'm trying to convince this poor little girl who is 5 years old, who has never been sick in her entire life, to pee in a cup. And we all know and love Miss Scarlet to pieces. She looks at me and starts crying because she is so terrified that she has to drink the pee out of the cup. This is how delirious my poor child is. And I'm trying to explain to her that it's not for that, it's just so the doctors can test, you know, her tummy to make sure everything's okay on the inside, and maybe that's why she feels so hot, is because her body is trying to fight off yucky stuff in her stomach. This takes about 10 minutes by itself to convince this child that I'm not going to make her drink out of the cup. This was not a fun fiasco, because I'm already a nervous wreck. I don't know if her temperature's dropped at this point. We're stuck in a bathroom. She's crying. I'm crying. And I call her dad, or I text Jason, and I said, look, we're at the quick care up the street. Scarlett's not good. She's running 106 fever. They don't know what's wrong yet. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. Want to keep you updated. He texts me and goes, I'm on my way. So, which thankfully he had someone else to cover his shift so that he could, you know, meet us up there. Because I'm just, number one, I cry when my children get shots. Okay? My own children don't cry when they get shots, but I do. I cry for them. Because I don't like to see them in pain. But, I mean, my poor little Scarlett was just so confused and had no idea where she was, and, you know, she didn't want to get in trouble because she wasn't listening at school, and she thought she was missing school at one point and was really upset about that. So, after all of this has gone down, we check her temperature again, and she's only at 104. And they're telling me that if we can get her down to 103, I have to take her to the emergency room because she's not stabilizing. She's going back up. And because previously to the 104, she went back up to 106. She ate a popsicle, and we put new ice packs on her. By this point, we've already gone through like 12 of them. And we put new ice packs on her, and that's when she dropped down to the 104. So they go through and they swipe. They do the huge cotton ball thing. Now, I've never had, knock on wood, I've never had strep throat. I've never had laryngitis. I've never had tonsillitis. I've never had anything where they've had to stick that huge thing down the back of your throat and make you gag. Scarlett was pretty pissed. She was pretty angry with the nurse and actually sat up to tell the nurse that she was never allowed to do that again. And the nurse started cracking up. She's like, she's pretty feisty for being as deathly ill as she is right now. I'm like, well, she is my kid, and she's going to tell you where to shove it if you hurt her. And apparently she didn't like that, because you made her gag, and it apparently hurt. And the doctor comes in and goes, well, her throat's a little swollen, and her left ear is a little swollen, but let's find out what this is before we let you go. And I'm thinking to myself, you're going to let me go. Where am I going? Am I going to the hospital? Like, the emergency room? Like, where am I going? She goes, oh no, we'll send you home. I just stopped dead in my track and thought I was going to punch a doctor in the face. What do you mean you're sending me home? I don't want to be sent home. I want to know what's wrong with my kid. My husband walks in the door and he, snuggles Scarlett. And Scarlett's excited to see him because she doesn't realize what's going on. And, she's snuggling Daddy and everything's good. And she's feeling a little bit better, but her fever still hasn't come down. And I'm looking at this doctor going, where are you sending us? She goes, well, I will send you home. You're not going to send me home because my daughter is very sick and I need to know what's wrong. And my husband looks at me and goes, oh, they said it was tonsillitis. How is it that you just walked in the door and you know what's wrong with our daughter, yet I've been sitting here for a couple of hours now and all I'm being told is that we're getting sent home? I about lost my mind. I came pretty close to losing my mind and cussing someone out, and I went off on the nurse and was like, okay, well, that would have been nice to know because I'm in here panicking because now at this point we've moved to a part of the urgent care that hasn't been used all day, so the lights haven't been on, no air has been turned on back there, and my daughter is down to her underwear with ice packs all over her body, and my husband knows that she has tonsillitis, but I didn't. This would explain why the nurse kept telling me she was going to send us home, because they knew what was wrong with her, but they didn't come tell me. Anywho, so Saturday was a pretty fun fiasco, and then finally her temperature dropped down to like 103 or 04, something like that, and the doctor was like, okay, as long as you can keep her at 103 or lower, you're good. If she goes to 104 or higher, you need to go to the emergency room. We don't want her to stroke, we don't want her to get brain damage, we don't want, I'm in such panic mode. And then this doctor kept telling me, you need to quit coddling her, you need to quit holding her, let her go. And I'm thinking to myself, my daughter thinks she's dying. Like, she looked me in the face, my poor 5-year-old goes, Mommy, I'm not ready to leave you. I don't want to be like Grandpa Paul and leave you. Well, for those of you who do not know, Grandpa Paul is my husband's grandfather who passed away in February, and she was there for the whole thing. She, we went to the funeral, she didn't see him in the casket or anything, but, she knows that he passed away, and, he's no longer with us here on Earth. And she kept telling me, I'm not ready to leave you, and I'm thinking to myself, what the heck do you mean you're not ready to leave me? You're not going anywhere. Stop talking like that. We're fine, everything's fine. So, of course I have to hug her. My child thinks she's dying. And this doctor kept, quit touching her, quit hugging her, let her be. I don't like doctors to begin with. It's not that I don't like doctors. I don't like their profession. I have a major issue with their profession. But when you tell me to quit hugging my child, who is scaring me to death because she is so ill. I am a mother who will come unglued and scare you beyond your worst nightmare. And I don't know, you know, a lot of mothers who wouldn't act that way. Don't tell me not to hug my kid. Don't tell me not to kiss her on the forehead. Don't tell me not to touch her. It's not like I was, like, hugging her. I was, like, rubbing her belly, and I was, you know, rubbing my hand over her forehead, letting her know I was still there and that everything was okay. Oh, just makes you want to punch somebody. Anywho. So, the good news is that she is now on an antibiotic. She has not had a fever over 98, or 99, which is, I mean, not even a fever. And she's been doing amazing since. Let's save that, and I'm going to attempt to use this little guy. I don't know how well this is going to go, so wish me luck. And I have like 3 lights on. I don't know if you guys can tell, or if it's working, or if it's helping, or anything of the sort. But, anywho. So that was my weekend. I literally spent 3 days in bed with Scarlett, just cuddling my baby all I wanted, because that doctor wasn't in my house to tell me no. Okay, is there a... Oh, crap. Did I break it? Is there a certain way to put these in? Oh! There we go. Okay. So I have a little roller. I'm going to try to scoot that back. And I don't want to pour too much in here, because I don't know if this is going to work. Alright, stop. Oh, nope. Oh, man. Gotta be smarter than the bottle there. Okay. I was trying to look for the little sponge thing that, I think her channel is Patio L. Something like that. I couldn't find it. I was pretty upset, actually. So hopefully this works. How are we doing on time? 22 minutes. I don't know if this was the smartest way to do this, but we shall find out, won't we? Whoops. I guess I can cover as much as I can with this and then go back in with my other brush. Seems like a good game plan. Hope. Again, I don't know what I'm doing, because y'all haven't heard that 50 million times. So what have you guys all been up to for the summer? What are we doing? What's happening out there? I honestly haven't been watching a lot of YouTube videos either. I've just been kind of, like I said, I've been in a rut, and depression really sucks. It is by far my worst enemy. I am my own worst critic, but that thing is, it's just my own worst enemy. Because I don't like being reclusive and not talk to my friends and family and try to battle this all on my own, but I feel like I have to. Well, I mean, a part of me feels like I have to. This is my battle, and it's mine alone. It's hard to let people in because, you know, especially like my husband, it's hard for him because he doesn't understand. He's never, you know, had depression like I do. So for someone who doesn't have it or has never faced it, it's hard for them to understand and comprehend how I'm feeling or what I'm feeling or why I can't explain what I'm feeling. I'm starting to think I'm not putting enough paint. I need to quit being so babyish with it. just go. So, speaking of Grandma and Grandpa Paul, Grandma just moved into her cute little apartment. And we're trying to help in any way we can with the house, and I guess she's gonna rent it out. And today was her 85th birthday. So I'm sorry I haven't been around much, guys. I hope you guys can understand. Sometimes life just sucks. Literally. Just sucks the life right out of you. You just don't want it anymore. I'm kind of glad I got this little roller thing, although it doesn't look like it's going on very even. It says you're not supposed to sand or, you know, you don't have to gesso anything. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I'm just not putting it on thick enough. That could be very well what the issue is. I don't know. This could totally be the wrong brush. Who knows? All I know is that my craft room is still a mess. My de-stash boxes are still sitting there, chilling. Which I think is another thing that kind of, you know, bummed me out, but, you know, it is what it is. It will all go to new homes when it's supposed to. And I'm still trying to figure out, you know, not figure out, but collect my pennies to become a close to my heart consultant. That's still something I still have my heart set on. So hopefully sometime soon I'll be able to say that that is what I'm doing. This brush kind of makes it easier, I tell you what. I've got it right. Not that I'm saying she did it wrong, but I'm not good with rollers. Let's just be honest. I've tried painting houses and rooms, and rollers and it's kind of like me and computers. I don't get them, they don't get me. I don't know how much pressure to put on, I don't know how much paint to put on. I feel like I'm wasting too much paint when I use a roller. Oh, that was totally on my desk. Okay. Chill for just a second. I can't find my craft mat. That's the reason why my desk is naked right now, while I'm painting on it. That's okay. At least I'm finally doing something crafty. And I want to do a real quick shout out to Miss Josie. I love you so much, girl. I feel really bad because she sent me a message, you know, being the love that she is. She was just checking up on me. And I think I was working with Scarlett on something, and I completely forgot to respond, and I feel like such a jerk because I didn't respond right away, and I usually try my best to respond as quick as possible, if not like right that second, because we all know how lovely my memory is. I can't remember crap, ever. So if I don't write it down 50 million times, I'm not going to remember it. I totally forgot to respond back to her. It would have only taken me, 2 seconds to respond, and I feel bad that I didn't. So I owe you an apology, Josie. I'm so sorry I didn't respond to you right away, sweetheart. But I'm making a video. I really need to get back to watching everybody else's videos. That really made me happy watching. I love watching everyone craft and seeing what everyone's doing and you know, getting inspiration from everybody, and I think when I kind of stopped doing that, and kind of just stopped crafting because I let everything else in my life right now just kind of get in the way, it's kind of just got me, like, really down and out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Oh man, I'm making a big old hot mess. Hot mess. Just the ways we like it. Right. You're not messy, you're not crapping. Okay. I don't know how long it... Ooh. I don't want to scratch that against my desk any more than I have to. Okay. Let's try up here. I really wish there was a better angle for me to get this at, but that's just not happening. I have a little spot right there that's white and it's bugging me. Alright, I'll have to get that with a brush. My allergies are going crazy. I have a little bush in front of my house that was like attacked by a million bees the other day. It took like it was like a 3-day process, and the flowers are already dead. That's awesome. Everybody in my house is dying with allergies. My mother cracks me up. She goes, "You gave this to me." I go, "Gave what to you?" She goes, "The runny nose, the sore throat." And I go, "You mean allergies, Mom?" "Yeah." I go, "Technically, you gave birth to me, and I'm pretty sure it's a genetic thing. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's genetic. Therefore, you gave it to me. You can't catch allergies." She's still not talking to me about it. She's still pretty upset with me. It's all my fault. Apparently, I made her allergic. Oh, stop it. She's so funny. So technically, this is your fault, not mine. And it's your fault that all my children have allergies, too. Everyone's been affected. It's your fault. I don't know if I'm not doing this right, or... Supposedly you don't need a lot of Sharpie, but I feel like... I don't know, maybe it's just because it's a bigger project and I'm not used to doing a project this big. So I've never actually done one this big. Feels like I'm going through a lot of paint right now. I have a feeling I'm going to have to double coat this, because some sections of it are not as red as others, and it's driving me bonkers. Some white spots in there. Trying not to paint my desk. So, other than wanting to hide in the closet for about 2 weeks now, life's been pretty good. And, you know, the scare with Scarlet, because I've never, ever seen a child get that sick that quick. And it just scared the crap out of me. Tonsillitis. She's got stinking tonsillitis. I've never met anybody. I know that it's, you know, pretty common, but I've never met anyone with tonsillitis. No one in my family has ever had tonsillitis. I know Jason's had strep throat, but I don't think he's ever had tonsillitis. I'm like, man, when you guys get sick, y'all go for the throat. Jonah, break a bone, it's gotta be through the growth plate. My kids don't joke around when it comes to getting injured. Straight for the throat and mommy's heart. So she's been like cloud 9, just doing perfectly well since she got sick. Doctors even told me, they're like, you know, she's not a typical kid. Usually they're screaming and you can't calm them down long enough, and their temperature won't come down because they're too busy crying. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Scarlett cried, but she would cry for like 5 minutes, and I would tell her, you know, Scarlett, honey, I need you to calm down. You've got to calm down, because right now all you're doing is making your body more hot, and if your body gets more hot, we've got to put more ice packs on. Because she hates ice packs. She hates them. So when I would tell her, you know, we got to put more ice packs on you if you don't calm down because you're making your body too hot, she would, you know, kind of huff and puff a little bit, and then she would start calming down again. But, man, I'd never been so scared in my life. I had no idea what was going on. My husband knew before I did, and I was the one waiting there. Messed up. Give me the flippin' heart attack. Okay. Go through, check the bottom. Oh, man. Stuff right in that. I hope my husband doesn't want this back. Hope not. If he does, he's not getting it back in one color. Okay. Just right over there. I just have a feeling I'm going to drop that, and that's just not. Then we're going to hear a lot of commotion. Not going to lie, I'm probably going to paint the sides and stuff on off camera. Not on camera, off camera, because I don't. Well, I don't think it's looking too bad. I don't think so. I could be wrong. And then again, I got like 50 million lights going on right now. You need to come here, and I'm gonna look this guy back up. Oh, please don't hit me in the face. That would not be good. And twist this guy around. Oh, oh. Right there. I'm gonna stick that on the brush. I need to rinse that off. No, I'm going with the stipple brush right now. And I totally spaced that you're not supposed to paint it like paint. You're supposed to do like stippling and circular motions and all this other fancy stuff. I should probably get a piece of paper to put underneath this. As I continue to paint it just the way I said not to paint it. Of course I would. Piece of paper. Come on. Okay. And a little roller guy, if I can get any more paint out of that. Just don't think it's as red as I want it to be. And I can't see over there. So, let me grab another piece of paper. And fold this in half. You know, it totally sucks because when, you know, I was in the other house, I was thinking, oh man, all my kids are going to be in school. I'm going to have all sorts of time to make videos. And I'll be able to make them in the daylight and have so much fun. And then I just went through this stinking rut. Like, I just want to be left alone. I don't want to play. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to hide in my closet and have everyone just leave me alone. Don't even ask me what's wrong. Just leave me alone. Is my head in the way? Boy, I hope not. All my grays are showing. Okay, let's do that. Back there. Yeah. Oh, I guess stuck it on top of something. It scared me. arm's getting tired. That's the other issue I'm having. I don't know what is going on with my neck, but it's kind of ticking me off. If I turn my head a certain way, my whole arm just falls asleep from like the shoulder down. It's that tingling sensation that I want to run up to something really quick and slam my arm into it to make it stop. You know, your feet fall asleep and you get that pins and needles. Yeah. That's kind of sort of what my arm feels like all the time now, and I don't know what I did to make it so angry. Because it used to be a come and go type of thing, but it was like a come and go 2 or 3 times a month. And for the last week, it's just been consistent. And unfortunately, it's my right arm. And I, as you can tell, am right-handed. So, this is not helping with the I want to go and play and craft, and then my arm just randomly falls asleep like it's trying to right now. It makes crafting very, very difficult. Oh, no, not yet. I don't have any paper under there. Oh, I have stuck my hand in wet paint. And 40 minutes. Okay, just checking. I'm going to try to get this little bottom half done with you guys. Okay, probably, this is not like, yeah, cooperating with me at all. Trying to get in this little group here, and it's not cooperating. I feel like if I pounce it too hard, I'm going to break the brush. Bristles are kind of falling out, and that's kind of, you know, this little set. For these 2 brushes, it was like $16 at Walmart. And they're the Waverly brand. I think that's how you say it. Now I'm sitting here thinking about it, I just painted this white underneath so I could try to distress it a little bit. I don't know if I have any sandpaper. Just kidding. Sorry, figure it out when we get there. I feel like I'm being so quiet. Of course, I think I say that in every video. I feel like I'm being too quiet. But I do want to thank Josie, because Josie's kind of the reason why I am making a video. I just love her to pieces. And I still have a package that needs to go out to Josie, but of course I can't find the tag now. I don't know where my tag is that I made her. And I would just go ahead and make her a new one, except for the fact that I already wrote a note to her on the back of the original tag that I have planned to send her. So Josie, it's coming. I promise. I swear, it is coming. And I had a package, and I wanted to put some more stuff in it before I sent it off, and then we moved, and now, like, I'm still missing stuff from this craft room. I don't know where the rest of my stuff is. I wonder if... Oh, no! Don't get stuck to it. Turn here. Okay, I gotta bring this closer to my face. Okay, and let's... Well, now I painted that, so let's not move that just yet. Let's move this. I'll just paint over here. Hopefully this doesn't turn out too bad. We will find out. Whoops, supposed to be in circular motions. I have to remind myself of that. I don't know where to hold this darn thing and keep it still. I don't know if I'm doing this right or not. I'm just, you know, painting to paint, pretty much. Fingers crossed that in the end it's going to look the way I want it to. Alright. It doesn't seem to actually take that long to dry. I know it's not like fully dry, but to the touch dry, it's actually not. Please do not put paint on my TV. There we go. So that would be my luck. Just splatter red paint all across TV screen. Okay. And do this little side right here. Maybe if I had done it this way. Oh, my arm. Oh, there's some paint on my face. That would not have been good. Okay. Whew. This whole arm. Man. Sorry, guys. Shoulder is on fire, and it's angry. Okay. Oh, keep going. Okay, I'm going to stop it here for right now. I just wanted to do a check-in with you guys. Not that I was really able to update or check you guys in on anything, really. Just because, like I said, a lot of stuff that's going on and going through my mind, a lot of it is just personal stuff. But I just want to let you guys know I'm still here, still hanging out. I haven't been crafting, which I've admitted and I've told the truth. So I can't say I've been sitting here crafting because that's a lie. I've thought about crafting. I have a lot of thoughts about crafting. I haven't done any crafting. This is actually the first time my desk has been clean enough to do any crafting. Quite honestly, because it was full of boxes and still full of albums and stuff I was hoping to get rid of. Are you kidding me right now? Hey, you. Yeah, you. Nat. Get. No, you're not going to get stuck in my paint. Get off me. Get off. Okay, did anybody else see that? There was a little bug. Oh, probably not, because it was right over here. Little black bug just flew right in my wet paint. That was not cool. Okay. I'm going to keep going with this, and if I'm not too tired, by the time I'm done painting the red on it, I'll come back tonight. If not, maybe tomorrow while the sun is up, and we'll sand it down and see how we can get it to look at the end of it. So, thank you to my new subbies, old subbies. You guys have hung in there with me through thick and thin, and there are no words to express how grateful I am. That even when I disappear for a little bit, you guys are understanding and reminding me that it's okay, and I'm not allowed to unpack and stay there. As long as I come back, I'm good. So, thank you again so much for hanging out with me, and hopefully I will be back soon. I don't want to go this long again without doing a video, because it just makes me want to curl up in a ball and not do anything, really. So, alright. Thank you again for listening, hanging out, commenting, messaging. You guys are just the best. I would be completely lost without you guys in the crafty world. You guys are so amazing. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.